Calvin from the future here saying that in this episode we will have some kind of little hints at the idea of taking one's own life. So if that's anything that upsets you or will hurt you in any way, please do take care of yourselves and not watch parts of this video. I'm sure someone will timestamp it down below the times, and I'll try and timestamp it too the moments that does happen. But there is like just some talks that it's more played off as a joke, but there is like an actual moment where it does feel like that's a bit whoa, you know? Still a great episode, still a great game, and I hope you enjoy nevertheless. Let's get into this. Hey everyone, it's Calvin, also known as Omer, and this is the Ace Attorney Chronicles. This is my first ever playthrough of the Ace Attorney Chronicles, and this is the Hound of the Baskervilles?
It's coming! Sholmes' cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us.
It is hard to believe we're on the last chapter already, or the last section of the game.
Breathlessly in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble.
It's kind of like really cool to know now that these are all exaggerated stories written by one little girl. Jesus Christ.
The diabolical hound of the
Baskervilles. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of cool because like I feel like sometimes the stories in general that we're playing with, like at first we thought they were like very much real and we thought we were going to see a Holmes. We did see a Holmes, I guess, or see a Watson type character, but I guess the Watson type character actually is a Wilson type character in this case. Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. Oh, so we've been here for 2 months now. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country, and in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court, which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by the fateful telegram. 15th of April, 9:13 a.m. Naruto's legal consultancy. Well, we get to see what it looks like. I'm actually pretty excited to see this. Oh, knock, knock, knock. Who knocked? Is it? Oh my god. It's so cozy. It's so cozy, dude. Look at this. That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, Suzato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Suzato-san? Yes! Is it time to leave for court already? This is one of my favorite soundtracks in the entire game. It's so good. Is it her theme? Or is it just like a song they play for sad times or kind of like emotional times? Let me see, what case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I? Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me. But I think Iris said that she would make us breakfast this morning. So shall we go on into Mr. Sholmes' suite? Yes. Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. She does, doesn't she? And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. Let me see. What case is it today? Here we go again. So she's kind of like thinking we have cases, but we have no cases to our name. An interesting like character detail, right? An interesting moment, I suppose, as well. So we can converse with you, and we should converse with you. Let's talk about the telegram. So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean. Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but you're not gonna get away with that. Well, I didn't think I would. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. It must be very boring to have you not talk about it. It was just a boring old telegram. That's 3 times now she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point. Alright, I understand. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Okay, if something private, then I don't need to know. I suppose Saseki-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he? Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away. A fortnight ago, we had a very long telegram from him. Do you remember? Complaining of seasickness? But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. Is something wrong, Naruto-san? I was just wondering, what might have become of Saseki-san had he stayed in London, that's all. You mean, as regards to Lord Van Zeeks, the Reaper? Yes, I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled in insignificance in that case. The Reaper. The Reaper. What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? If he dies, okay, here's the freaking thing, okay? I know they have no proof, but like eventually it's like too coincidental, right? Eventually it's too much of a coincidence. You're gonna have to try this guy or investigate this guy thoroughly. Don't come up with a bunch of excuses, by the way, why he can't be investigated. Like the way the Nightmare's trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery. Yes, but at least Saseki-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably, that means that the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps? Even if that's the case, it's a little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. If the legend of Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants. No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Van Zeeks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter. Yes, since Saseki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from the judicial service again, it seems. Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So, it's just been me who's about to face him in recent spate of trials, then? Just my luck. I wonder, if luck doesn't come into it... Sorry? What was that? Oh, nothing. Never mind. Okay, that I can never stand. I can never stand when someone says something and then goes, oh, it's nothing. I do it sometimes too, though, just because it's funny. Okay, I guess we can move out a bit here. I want to examine the room, though, a little bit. Because look at this wood-burning stove. It looks freaking amazing. These things, I don't think you guys understand how valuable they are. If you don't have one of these in your home, I have one of them in my home. And it's the best thing ever. Expensive as hell to install, but it will save you so much money, my friends. Oh my god, it's so good. It's spring at last and the weather's warmer now, but I love the smell of the fire and the steam rising from the kettle. Oh, would you like some tea, Naruto-san? Thank you, Susato, but I'm alright for now. With the green tea Susato makes me from time to time, and Iris' unique herbal infusions, this place is paradise for a true tea lover. I hate green tea. Green tea is such a wonderful accompaniment to British tea cakes. Wouldn't you? No, not at all. It's horrible. Only people pretend to like green tea, which is fine. But yeah, wood burning stoves. Should definitely. My one's much bigger though, by the way. My one's much bigger. My one's bigger. Mm-hmm. We've only been here in London for about 2 months, but look at my desk is starting to look a little messy already. You could tidy up once in a while. Susato-san, I always say, making a mess is a small sacrifice to pay for being able to further your studies. And time spent tidying up is time you can't devote to the same cause. And time spent on ridiculous arguments is that time that could be better spent on some simple housework. She wins, but I'm supposed to be the lawyer here. I mean, she's right. She's right. This little set down here. So this is the tea set that Susato-san brought with her from Japan. Let's hope she hasn't noticed me slipping sugar and milk into my cup when she makes it. It's just so bitter. Yeah, sugar, milk, sugar, milk. Tea is a drink to be enjoyed, Naruto-san. Yeah, and I enjoy it with milk and sugar. You really don't have to force yourself to drink it if you know. I'd like to see you screw up your face. I don't like to see you screw up your face, so. Milk and sugar. Sugar? This must be the telegram. Let me see. No, you mustn't look at that. Not under any circumstances. Alright, I won't. I'm sorry, Naruto-san, but you can be very mischievous at times. Then put the telegram away if you don't want people looking at it. I agree. Laugh it up. There's a door here. You know, I've never seen inside your room there, Susato-san. We don't need to. I never even peeped inside. I should think so, and I should think so too. A young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know. Whatever you say, young maiden. I remember when I was a teenager, like, you know, when you were like 15, like it was like kind of exciting going into a girl's room, and now it's just like, okay. We were rather looking to find an old aquarium left behind here. The prawns we put in there are doing rather well, and the anemons too. It's a wonderful invention, isn't it? The sea behind glass inside your room. Another example of great British greatness. Another example of great Jesus Christ. Britaganda here. Having to clean it out and change the water isn't so great though, is it? No, not in a big tank like that. I guess we can move out now. Where are we gonna go to? Sholmes Suite? Ruining the mood with a tick, 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 tick. I could have stayed in that suite forever. 15th of April, Sholmes Suite. Morning, Bruno. Morning, Susie. Good morning, Iris. What's that sound? I'm Iris. What is it, Bruno? I love that she calls him Bruno and Susie. Lovely nicknames. What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled. Yes. You noticed that, did you? I knew it was that. I knew exactly what it was before I even said it. Hurley is the best form this morning, it seems. Oh, to have him this upset is very strange. Hello, Mr. Sholmes? Good morning. Sorry, good morning. Ah, good morning to die, perhaps. Okay, dude. If you need to talk, I'm here. Let's do it. Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before. My analytic mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Damn this blanched existence! He seems pretty depressed. That's all it, is it, my dear fellow? Nothing of consequence. We don't want you feeling sad. You've helped us out so much, kind of. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, I know he did help us out immensely. If he didn't let us, make us explore the fight, we wouldn't have known the fight happened. We wouldn't know what happened to the... Like, he literally helped solve the whole last trial. Like, if it wasn't for him, we would not have solved the last trial. So I'm not going to say maybe. No, he did help us quite a bit. Twice now. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me. If it's not too much to trouble. Meow. You have a cat! Oh, you have a cat! Look at the cat! Oh my god! Wait. That's, Soseki-san's cat. Oh, look, it's Wagai. Wagai? Good morning, boy. Meow. I give total permission to correct me on the pronouncing of Wagaha. Wagahai? Please do. I know I have some Japanese audience members too, so please do. That must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. But how did he get it there? Well then, everyone, time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. It would indeed be a fine day to die. Oh, I knew something looked different. Could we talk to him? Like, maybe, like, see what's happening? Wait, all of his stuff is gone. Something to from Mr. Sholmes' desk. He had the big machine kajigger. Did it get robbed? Wanting to die. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its Millicent tones. I always yawn when doing Sholmes' voice. What is it about? Maybe it's because I'm doing this with my voice and putting the air back to my throat. Its Millicent tones would make flowers bloom. It would? But now, the muses are all amused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? For hours I have bowed, for days even. Through the night I have endeavored, to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone. Gone forever! No recitals of unbridled emotion! Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley? That could do it too. That could definitely do it. Don't worry. I'm sure we'll come back to you in time. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Naruto. The goddesses of the arts are fickle! One day they bestow genius on a man, the next they mercifully withdraw it. Oh, dear. Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin for me, what is left? For pity's sake, what is left? Great character. How good is it as well having a character that like seemed like pretty like not emotionless, but seemed pretty like vapid and kind of like devoid of thought almost beyond like trials and beyond investigations, and actually having a character like express themselves like this, it actually is pretty interesting because it's such a contrast to what their character was before. I think it's actually like really neat. It's not neat that he's sad, but you get what I'm saying. It's a very good character progression, and it's very strange because it's like, oh yeah, deduction perhaps, isn't that what you're known for? The missing machine. Yeah, I want to know about this too. I love the environments. I love the art in this game. I love it all. This whole chapter is probably going to take a very long time. Every chapter so far has taken, I think, basically around 5 or 6 hours. So I'm imagining that this is going to be like if we're going to, I'm guessing 8 to 10. I'm guessing that's probably the grand total of hours in the last chapter for this. But hey, and then we'll come back to this game eventually. I think a lot of people thought this game was going to be the longest playthrough ever, and I think, judging by my usual episode length, they were totally right. But I think now, since we dented it so much, it's not the case. Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but your desk looks rather empty today. Well done, Mr. Sato. Your observations do you credit. I love the way he's like, I love the concept that he's like, elementary. And he's all sad. Oh no, Mr. Sholmes, they pale in insignificance when compared to yours. You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you? You mean Hurley's growing out under the scope? That's at Windy Banks now. Sorry, it's at Windy Bank? No, Windy Banks, the pawnbrokery. What? Pawn? What? You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see. Quite undeservingly. But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you'd consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you. Jesus, Zato. Dear madam, things are far from desperate. Oh. But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate? Making use of a pawnbrokery is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. Is it? It doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbrokeries work. It's kind of, okay, nowadays, if someone's using the pawn shop, say, in town, what tends to happen with that is that, like, you have, it's kind of judged that they are very much, like, on low times. Or like on bad times, and that is more than likely 99% of the case. But the thing is, in like other countries, pawn places and pawn shops are like reputable, like not reputable shops, but they're shops that people go in and like shop around and go, oh, I might take this, I might take that. It's kind of pretty freaking common to like, you know, get some money, even borrow some money from the pawnbrokers. Like it's actually pretty normal in a way, like in some places, and in the past as well, it's been very normal. Oh, what's to understand exactly? He's so sad. How pawnbroking works. We are from Japan after all. What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. Banks? On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily through the week. And then on Saturdays, they get recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has become a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in London. And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn, should the need arise. Oh, how ingenious. So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at the Windy Bank, you see? A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are even different here in Great Britain? Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't.
Don't you, Hurley?
What does it matter? The world is dead to me now. This poor man. Okay, so can we examine the area? Maybe we talk to you about this? Holy hell! This is your section? We didn't even look at this last time. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Iris do much writing recently, but there's paper already set up in the typewriter. Look as if she's about to start. That reminds me, when I mentioned that Iris was in the process of writing a full-fledged novel, Mr. Natsumi was most impressed. Yes, Mr. Natsumi. That's what I'll be doing too, once I'm back in Japan, he said, though tightly clenches fists and teeth. Through tightly clenches his feet. Okay, this beautiful chair that looks horrible to sit in. Holy hell, that looks so bad to sit in. That looks horrific to sit in. That's a charming little white shelf and full of charming little bottles too. But the contents of them aren't quite so charming, it seems. Science is the future, Mr. Naruto. You can't deny it. I'm saving my money so I can buy some chemistry apparatus as well. Law, chemistry, takedown throws. What are the diverse skills you boast, Mr. Sato? As useful as they are, I'm not sure that my throwing skills are worthy of inclusion on that list. I don't know. I think they are. I think they very much are. I guess we'll check out the tea set as well. Iris's beautiful tea set is on there at the table as usual. A cup of her special herbal blend always helps me to relax when I'm feeling strain. The English pastime of tea has many similarities with our own tea customs, don't you think? It's the idea of hospitality behind it. That's the essence of tea. It's funny because, like, now, like, the hospitality that centers around tea is usually, you know, an Irish thing. It's very much an Irish thing. And it is something we definitely borrowed from England. Like, Calvin the Irish boy is saying that we all borrowed something from England. Oh my God. But yeah, like, and now it's like, it's less of like a thing of like, do you want some tea? It's more just like, take the tea or I will keep asking you if you want tea. And if you don't say, and if you say you like want tea, if you say you don't want tea, I will keep saying, you sure? Come on, just one cup. One cup for the road. Come on, just one cup. Like, just one cup. Like, it won't kill you. It won't kill you. Come on, just one cup will you? I'm making the tea now. Do you want one cup? No, I'm fine. Just one cup. No, it's grand. Really, I have to be going. No, just one cup of tea. And like, look, you're not driving. You might as well take a cup of tea. No, I don't know. It's like, oh, one cup of tea. And then they eventually go, okay, just one cup of tea. But like in other countries, it's like, do you want a cup of tea? No, I'm fine. Okay, that's cool. And like, that's why, like, I was watching this old sketch comedy thing called The Savage Eye. It's pretty, like, looking back now, some of the sketches like are not funny anymore because like, I think I was like 10 when it came out, and I thought, like, oh my God, it's so funny. It's not funny anymore. It really isn't. Like, some of the stuff, it's like really, really bad. I just thought, at the time as like a kid, I thought that stuff was hilarious, just like everyone kind of did. But there's one sketch that is still funny, and that's the sketch where it's about like an Irish versus like a British person asking for tea or whatever, or not British. I think it's Irish versus American. I don't want to drag anyone else into this, but it's like, or an Irish person at a British person's house, and the British person goes, "Do you want a cup of tea?" And the Irish person goes, "No, I'm fine," expecting them to offer 20 more times because the Irish person wants to be polite and kind of be like, I'm not saying British people are polite, by the way. I'm digging a grave here. But the Irish person like wants you to ask it multiple times so they can get a cup of tea on the 10th ask, because it seems like they're being very polite. And then the British person goes, okay, that's fine then. And then it shows like the Irish person dying of thirst through like 5 minutes. Like, I should have accepted the tea. I should have taken it. It's actually like pretty good. It's funny for Irish people, okay? It's funny for Irish people. Beautiful area here, by the way. I want to look at this mantelpiece as well. The fire's burning comfortably in the grate again today. It's a very different feeling to a Japanese hibachi somehow. Oh, look at that photograph of print the lady displayed on the mantelpiece. Could it be? Yes, it must be. It's the woman. Oh, how exciting. Is that supposed to mean something to me? The woman? For having examined the fireplace of Mr. Sholmes' suite was with Susato in episode 5 of The Greatest Star. Okay, Jesus Christ. What an achievement. How are you, Iris? Wagaha. Mr. Nasumi's cat seems to have settled in his new home then. Oh yes, and I've become very attached to little Waggy. It would appear his previous owner has completely forgotten him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. They're amused as empty as hearts of the muses. You know who always says this? That cats don't feel emotions or cats don't love their owners? Are people that usually, like, their cats don't love them. My cat, every day, comes up to me and cries until I sit down beside her for a bit while she's sleeping. I'm not even joking. She is a beautiful cat. A beautiful cat. My other cat, like, isn't as loving towards me, but she's like that. And I love that cat so much. I love all the 3 cats, but, you know, I love all my cats. Oh, the way you're holding that cat. That's a very gentle cat if that cat's letting you do that. Mr. Natsumi had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan. I wonder why he kept him in the first place. I expect he would have taken him if he could. But pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience. And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed. Well, I don't mind, because Waggy's adorable. Yes, he really is. Oh yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from? Oh, you noticed? You are observant, Mr. Runo. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention. Oh, did you make a square cutter that just cuts a square instantly? What is that? I'll call it the cat flip-and-flap-o-matic. Okay, flap-flap-o-matic. Okay, that makes sense. Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's right. It can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. And I can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see. Wouldn't it be quicker just to make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap? I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in our office upstairs, so the cat can come in. Fair enough. She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. Yeah, it wouldn't be very... It don't seem like even inventions that she wants to sell. They seem like just inventions that you can, like, really work with, you know? Like, at home. Like, for yourself. Personal use. What was that? What? Hi? Clatter, clatter, screech. What was that? Oh, no. Why, guy's tangled up in your violin? Oh, that's horrible. Cut the violin right now. What is he doing to it? Oh, dear. Mr. Sholmes' precious violin. The precious cat. I don't get... That wire is so sharp if it's, like, cutting down on you. Why should I care? It's the thing is, it's not funny. Like it's like to me, like it's funny because like it's the way he's acting, but at the same time, it's like, man, he's actually like in the dumps, and he's helped us so much. I really would like to help him too. I shouldn't be surprised. If the cat is more accomplished musician than I am, than I know. What? What did he say? Did I read that wrong? Then I know. Yeah. Now I know. Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley? Out of the cat's reach if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. So we can examine the violin. So this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier, Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. It really doesn't look anything special to me. I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How honorable of you. And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there a reason to live in a world devoid of music, to tolerate this blanched existence? No! There is more. Mr. Sholmes? What, dear madam, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine. Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think? Hmm? What do you mean, Mrs. Otto? Oh, Susie's right. The tone of the wood is completely different. And that's not all. I'm not sure there was no crack here before. Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What is this? Did you from before? Did you? Oh, when you looked at it before. I'm sorry I have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all. What is it? It's a fiddle? I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola. Okay, I said that, but I was just joking. I was like violin. Yeah, but like, I'm sorry. Oh, Mrs. Sholmes, are you alright?
You're right. You are quite right. This isn't my fateful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam?
Not your faithful performing partner, then. Ah, I see what must have happened. You do, Iris? This is just a simple mix-up. It sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her. Okay, I guess we have to converse with Iris again. This seems like a lot for the first part of the game. Like, it's, I think, like, you know, I love the little side interactions as well. It just seems like a lot, doesn't it? What do you mean by a mix-up, Iris? Well, you see, this violin... Sorry, this viola, I mean... was at Windybanks until last week. Oh, did we bring it home with us? At the pawnbrokers? Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner.
There's a proverb from the East, with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel.
Yes, indeed. So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in hopes that it would experience personal growth? Oh, what a wonderful idea.
Last week I pawned my great analytical scope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Windybanks mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry little fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber.
You know what's crazy? He pawned this off, right? But he pawned off one of his investigation machines to get something to help him when he was depressed. I mean, if that's not real, I don't know what is. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings.
Pshaw, a fine state of affairs this is. And why I always say, Mr. Rudo, never trust a pawnbroker, they will fiddle you every time.
Fiddle is a different thing in my country. Please. But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbrokery as an extremely secure vault.
He did say that. Come, Mr. Rudo, dilly-dally will get you nowhere.
Sorry?
Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect, fessing your coffee so obtusely.
Oh, he's excited. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct considering the urgency which we are faced? We must visit Windybank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes?
Precisely, Mr. Sato. Without a moment's delay.
But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs.
My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to fess your eggs ever more obtusely.
Alright, say no more. Let's go then. Don't worry, Reno. I'll be happy to heat up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I'm rather curious to see what a British pawnbrokers looks like. I actually am curious to, like, just to see a new place as well. That's what's always, like, most exciting about these games, is, like, looking at new locations. So we can go to Baker Street, and then we go to Windybank's Pawn. I think we go to Baker Street first, right? Oh my god, it's so nice. Could we examine some of the areas here? Clothes store for rent. Wait, is this Mr. Sholmes' place? It's already been 2 months since we started taking lodgings here at Mr. Sholmes' office. I still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this. Oh, I know. To actually be sharing accommodation with the world's greatest detective. If I ever find myself before a court of law now, I'll have not one regret. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'd happy to defend you, of course. Yeah, I'd defend her too. How could you not? How could you not defend poor Susato? Then we have the pawnbrokers. Look at all the different things in the window in the shop. That's Windybanks, the pawnbrokery. It looks much smarter than a pawnbroker in Japan, doesn't it? Yes, you're right. I find pawn shops at home rather inapproachable, personally. It reminds me of tearfully parting with my favorite fountain pen. I felt so miserable. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Mr. Naruto. And then we can move to Windybank's pawnbroker. I'm actually kind of excited to see what this looks like inside, because like usually pawn stores have like a really distinct vibe to them. Yeah, very distinct. It looks more like an antique store. Look at those 2 dolls. I love those 2 dolls. Can I have those? 15 April, Windybank's pawnbrokery. So this is a British pawnbrokery. Oh my, there are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here I've never laid eyes on before. Oh, Susato-san, that's the spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this. Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things, I don't understand, it's a real thrill for me.
My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
We are calling on a matter of business, not pleasure.
And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the spark of his fury in his eyes.
Oh my god, look at this guy! Look at this guy! Ah, Mr. Sholmes, sir. Welcome back. Did you hear the brazen welcome?
Well, yes, we are potential customers after all.
We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Nerdo, and it's time to inform Mr. Windybank of our hour.
Are we being Karens right now? Are we being Kevins?
Come, the fight is afoot.
Oh my god, look at this guy. Look at this guy. The designs in this game are so great. Like, so great. I love them with all my freaking heart. I really do. Let's examine this place a little bit before we go any further, though.
What do you do, my dear? Oh, we have to talk to him? We're not allowed to browse Adventures Curios. We have come to teach this broker a lesson.
Oh, but there are just so many fascinating items. It looks as though we'll have to talk to Mr. Windybank first before you can explore this area, Mr. Suzato. That's fair enough. Okay, we can talk to Mr. Windybank first. I'm so in love with the designs of this game. I think they do such a good job all the time with the designs in this game. Like look at this. It absolutely looks fantastic. Like, I think what I'm just always so appreciative of in these games is, like, how, like, I don't know, I guess how, like, the design, I said this before, but how, like, designs are, like, always based on, like, how to create a good character from the outset. Already I'm interested in talking to this guy because of how he looks, and how he's designed, and how his art style is. And down to, like, the little things, like, the way his eyes droop down or his eyebrows are up as he's looking at us. Like, you can tell who this character is just by looking at him already, like, you know, already he's kind of like, why are these people here? Why are they going to be annoying me like this? Why do they want to annoy me like this? And I think it's also, like, a really freaking cool thing to look at, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I guess we can first, what do we have to talk about? The violin and the pawnbroker, the two things we have to talk to him about. Let's start with the violin.
Naturally recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago.
Yes.
Second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Windybank. The color of the wood is different. It has holes in it. It's not even the same size.
I love he's just like so... he has a right to get his stuff back. I mean, he does. I wonder for a summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes.
The silence? The silence out of nowhere?
I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There is only one way to make amends.
What is it? Oh my god, run! Look at the dash! No! What you do? Stop! No!
I shall have to take my own life.
Please do not do that. Please never do that. Please never do that. I don't think it was that would be necessary, do you? I don't, like, dude, this is not good. This is not good.
If I might just say one thing before I pop off.
Yes?
It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to ruin this time the other day, I believe.
Sorry?
As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin, and I heard,
here it is. No, Mr. Sholmes. It's funny because I can just imagine him doing that.
Oh, here it is. That's fine. See you later. You did.
Put the gun down. This isn't good.
When I turned to a conjurer, you had taken the violin and left, sir. However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at my door for allowing you to leave.
No, it isn't. It's not your blame at all.
So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May the guilt die with me.
Please do not do this.
No, stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine.
Hell.
It would appear the fight is over.
I do humbly apologize, Mr. Windybank. Oh, Windybank. I've evidently my questionable disposition to participate in this tragedy.
Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock's show there. Questionable disposition now, would you?
I do believe you may be right, sir.
This is totally something he would do. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. Exactly, I almost would cry.
I almost will cry.
You are almost, beside, one of the most challenging customers. Indeed, remind you of the peculiar collection of these items you brought to the door in my door in the past.
Oh, peculiar items?
In the extreme, ma'am, for example, an unpublished manuscript of Epine's work, the novels of Sherlock Sholmes are such.
Oh my, a new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I've yet to read, you mean?
Oh, forgive me.
Wait, before you die, you must tell me. No! Wait, this is not a joke. This is not funny. This is not funny. In fact, I'm gonna end the video here. We're gonna come back in the next one and figure out what this guy's doing. But like, this is not a good thing to end on. It's not a good thing to end on at all. I'm trying to make every single video we do nowadays. I used to have 30 minutes per video, but I'm trying to make every video like 37 to 40 minutes, just to like get a little bit more out of each episode. Jesus Christ, really fun episode, but then like turning to a very dark episode.